It's autumn, chilly nights are setting in, and I can think of no better time to make soup. Now I'm going to show you how you can turn these simple, fairly cheap ingredients into a delicious, sweet, smoky pumpkin and lentil soup. So you get the ball rolling by putting 100 grams or 4 ounces of red lentils into a saucepan with 4 mugs of water, and you bring it to a boil on a high heat and let it boil like that for around 10 minutes. In the meantime, you get peeling and chopping. De-seed and remove those hairy bits in the middle of the pumpkin before peeling it. After you've peeled a thumb-sized piece of ginger, chop it as finely as you can. Get it into your pot as soon as possible because it takes a while to cook. The lentils release this rather unpleasant foam, and here it's bubbled up onto the sides of the pot. But since it's dried onto the pan, I'm just going to change saucepans now. So after 10 minutes, you can lower the heat to medium and add your carrots and potato roughly chopped. The amount of potato I'm using equates to a medium-sized potato, and you add those first because they take the longest to cook. There's around a pound of pumpkin in this recipe, or that's 500 grams, and you keep around a quarter of it and chop it quite finely here. The rest of it you put into the pan with everything else around 5 minutes after you've added the carrot and potato. Now we're going to get a little bit of magic going. Here I've got about a quarter of the pumpkin that I kept back from the pan, finely diced, with a small onion, finely diced, and I'm going to caramelize it over a low heat in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So the lentils and vegetables are boiling away nicely. In there, by the way, is the larger part of the pumpkin chopped into large chunks because it cooks fairly quickly. As you can see, the lentils have released a little bit more foam, and I'm going to remove that with a spoon. Here's the little paint palette for this dish that's going to make it all sweet and smoky. Here are 2 tablespoons of tomato paste or puree, 1 heaped teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sweet paprika, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and 1 tablespoon of smoked chilli. The latter is optional. I just happen to be a bit of a chilli addict. When everything's been cooking for about 20 minutes, you can add your spices and tomato puree. At this point, I'm also adding a cup of chicken stock, just because I happen to have some, and it'll add extra flavour, but it's optional. As you can see, the onion and pumpkin are on the point of being nicely caramelised. Keep a watch on them because you don't want them to burn. As soon as they're cooked, switch off the heat. So after about 35 or 40 minutes, the lentils will be cooked and the vegetables tender, and you can switch off the heat. The kitchen smells heavenly, and now comes the exciting bit, because we're going to blend all of the lentils and vegetables that are in the pot. Keep going till it's all smooth. Now I've got the soup into its tureen. I'm going to add the caramelized onion and pumpkin, which should give it a nice texture and stop it from being just like baby food. As a final touch, I've added a little bit of raw spring onion greens. It's more decorative than anything else, or you could add a little chopped parsley just to make it look fun. And now the moment of truth, tasting time. Sweet, smoky, delicious. Just what I wanted.